Hello, it's Diana from DianaMarchand.com, and I'm here to make one of my favorite things, which are my buckwheat wraps. These are gluten-free. They're not vegan because they have an egg. I've tried to make them vegan. Now you can try leaving out the egg, adding a bit of a flax egg plus some oil. So give that a try if you want to try making them vegan. Now this is not a good representation really because I cooked it a little bit too hot. So when the pan's a little too hot, you would get holes. So that's one, and you use them like a tortilla wrap. Now, if you make them, just gotta clean up this pan. If you make them and they get really crunchy and hard, what you have to do, because then they won't bend like this one just cracked. When they're cooled off just a little bit, put them in a bit of a plastic bag and that'll soften them. That way you'll be able to use them again because they'll be softer, all right? So I am just going to show you. I blended, let me take this off because, now what I did was I blended 1 cup of almond milk. I added a half a cup of ground buckwheat groats and a half a cup of brown rice flour. You can use white rice flour. And then it is 1 egg and some salt, and that's it. Buckwheat is gluten-free. Even though it says wheat, it's gluten-free. You can, it's actually a seed. I will show you what they look like. Right there. And you can buy them in bulk, or Bob's Red Mill buys them in a package, sells them in a package. Here's what they look like. I buy them at a health food store, but actually at grocery stores. Some of the grocery stores here have it in their bulk section, which is fun. And so I grind a bit, and then I put it in a jar. So here's some ground in a jar, and then I have it ready. And I usually keep my rice flours in a jar too. So then 1 cup of almond milk. I use the Silk brand, the type that stays in the fridge. So good bought almond milk. Yes, you can use regular milk if you use it. So 1 cup almond milk, a half a cup about of the rice flour, a half a cup of the buckwheat. Now, can you use just all rice flour? Yes. Can you use all buckwheat flour? Yes. Buckwheat flour does tend to make them crispy though. Now you need a nonstick pan. I have a nonstick pan that uses no oil. You're just not supposed to use any oil with it. So you need to also cook it on a temperature that's not super high, so medium to high. My pan needs a bit lower temperature. So you blend it in a blender. That's it. I put all the ingredients. I start with the milk on the bottom, then all the ingredients in the blender, blend it. That's all it takes. Now, if, like pancakes, if you're pouring the mixture and it's too thick and clumpy, then thin it out with a bit more almond milk or a little bit of water. That's all you have to do. Now, this pan is about this size, see, a normal. Now, about a 1/4 cup goes into here. What you gotta do is, it's a quick thing, you gotta watch. You pour it in not too thick, right? Take it off the heat. So you can hear it sizzle. I poured in a bit too much again. I gotta start measuring, seriously. Jeez. So I poured it in, and then if you need to fill the holes, you turn it like this until it covers the bottom, right? Or you can take it off the heat though, it'll cook, so keep it off. Or smooth it with the spoon until it covers the bottom of the pan. Then you just put it back on the heat and let it cook. The thing about this stuff is it's really amazing. It'll take quite a while to cook. Now what you want to wait for is, if you try to flip it before it's ready to be flipped, it will stick. So it doesn't mean it's going to stick always. It just means it's not ready, because when it's ready, it'll start lifting up on the side slightly. You easily will be able to flip it and turn it over. So that's how you know when it's ready. And you will be surprised how long these take. It just for some reason takes a longer time to cook, because you're also not cooking it super high, right? You want a medium heat, and it depends if you have a gas stove, electric stove, what your stove's like, and also what type of pan you have, right? So that's what, you're just gonna make sure it's ready to flip, then you flip it over, cook it on the other side. I like to add a little bit of salt on top of mine. And that is it. So I will come back. I mean, this is super easy, guys. There's nothing to watch while it's cooking. It just cooks. That's it. That's how easy these things are to make. I cannot get over how many clients don't actually try these because they think they're going to be hard. It is. If you can make pancakes, you can make these. Just make them thinner, right? Make them thinner. All right, it's ready to flip. I just wanted to show you this because then you'll see. I kind of turned over the edges a couple times. See how the edges are flipped up a little? And this is like, it should slide like this. Look at that. And then you just pick it and flip it. And it should be no problem at all to flip. That's when it's ready. Now be careful. If you have the temperature too high, it will make it really crispy and then you have to soften it. So you just got to watch the temperature. As it seems like the more I cook, I have to kind of keep turning it down a little bit because the pan just becomes too hot and these things cook too fast, therefore getting a crunchy, crispy outside, which is good if you want to just snack on it. But then they're hard to wrap, to actually use as a wrap. Another thing you can use them as like naan bread. They're really good with lentils or with soup. I'm having soup today, so I'm actually going to have it with soup too. So you can use it like a flatbread. You can use it to wrap anything in. And like I said, you can use it like a side naan bread or something to dip into things. Okay, welcome back. And I got mine ready. I cut up some cucumber and I got some fresh greens. These are microgreens and different sprouts. So good. And I also have some sprouts that we make. We make our own sprouts, and there are some of our own sprouts. So excellent. And I'm going to use some hummus that I made to put in it too. So I'm going to use lots of fresh, good, great ingredients in my wrap. And my soup, a little bowl of soup. There it is right there. And I always also add some of these fresh greens and sprouts to my soup too. Always adding some greens to them. To it, I should say. Now I put it in plastic because it was getting a little crispy. And, oh my God, look at how lovely that is. So it's nice and pliable. Perfect. It's still a little warm. So I'm just gonna spread on my hummus. Now you can use it, avocado's great. Any kind of avocado dip or spread in this too, really good, of course. Or just plain avocado, right? I'm keeping it simple today. Tonight we are having this with halibut. So I'm making some more and we're gonna have halibut wraps, just like fish tacos. It's gonna be so good. So I'm putting on my cucumber slices. I slice these nice and thin. Cucumber slices. And then I gotta cut some of these greens up because they're so big. Put my greens, fresh greens, and then I'm gonna put on, I love sprouts, so we're gonna hefty on the sprouts there. Look at that. I gotta shut off this. I got it going, some more going here. Here it is right here. Hope you can still see. There you go. Then I just kind of pull back, start to wrap. Perfect. There it is. And then you can cut it in half. And there's my wrap. Perfect. These are really good for breakfast wraps. You can use scrambled eggs and black beans and salsa. So good for breakfast wraps too. Anything, anytime. And like I said, so you're going to store them in a plastic bag, right? Right? They'll last for a couple days. Unfortunately, I haven't tried freezing them. You can try freezing them. I haven't tried yet. We eat them all usually within 2 days. So we'll eat them today and then tomorrow usually. So great. Let me try this. So fantastic, so easy, you have to try them. And if you're in any of my programs, you get my cashew cheese sauces and things like that too, and my ranch, cashew ranch. Oh my God, those sauces are amazing in these wraps. So there is no need for you to have any kind of wheat wraps. And if you ever buy the gluten-free rice wraps and stuff, they just break and they're just not good, right? Look at this, perfect. And practice. If you try making them and they don't turn out at first, these are so worth practicing and practicing and practicing until you get it just right. Important you have a good pan. Give it a try. All right, if you're not part of my community for women over 40, which is Women Creating Healthy Lives, come and join us. Also, you can check out me at dianamarchand.com and at my more YouTube videos at Diana Marchand. And yeah, okay, I'll see you around. Thanks, bye.